Hi, welcome to my channel. Now we uncover the untold story of the rise of ancient Rome from city to empire. The rise of ancient Rome, how a small city built an empire. Long before modern nations or world powers existed, there was a small settlement on the banks of the river Tiber. No one could have imagined that this little city, filled with farmers, traders, and warriors, would one day dominate the known world. This is the story of ancient Rome, the empire that changed history forever. The birth of Rome. Legend says that Rome began with two brothers, Romulus and Remus, who were abandoned as babies and raised by a she-wolf. When they grew up, they decided to build a city together. But a fight broke out between them, and Romulus killed Remus. He named the new city Rome after himself in 753 BCE. This story is part myth, part history, but it reflects Rome's true spirit, courage, ambition, and the will to conquer. In its earliest days, Rome was ruled by kings, but around 509 BCE, the Romans overthrew their last king and created a new system, the Roman Republic. In the Republic, power was shared among elected officials, including two consuls and a senate made up of Rome's noble families. This idea of citizenship, voting, and representation would later influence democracies all over the world. The Republic expanded. At first, Rome was just one small city among many in Italy. But the Romans were fierce fighters. They believed in discipline, honor, and loyalty to their homeland. Through countless battles, Rome defeated neighboring tribes and rival cities like the Etruscans and Samnites. By 264 BCE, Rome controlled all of Italy. But that was only the beginning. Soon, Rome faced a powerful enemy, Carthage, a wealthy city in North Africa. The two powers fought in a series of wars known as the Punic Wars, which lasted for over a century. The most famous Carthaginian general was Hannibal, who shocked the world by leading his army, including war elephants, across the Alps to invade Italy. For years, he defeated Roman armies, but in the end, Rome's determination triumphed. By 146 BCE, Carthage was completely destroyed, and Rome became the most powerful state in the Mediterranean, building an empire. After its victory, Rome began expanding across Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East. It conquered Greece, Egypt, Spain, and parts of modern-day France and Britain. Everywhere Rome went, it brought its laws, language, and architecture. The Romans were not just warriors, they were master builders. They built roads that connected the entire empire, aqueducts that carried fresh water, and amphitheaters where people gathered for entertainment. The saying, "All roads lead to Rome," was true. The empire's roads stretched for more than 250,000 miles. Roman engineering was ahead of its time. The Colosseum, completed in 80 CE, could hold 50,000 people and featured elevators, trapdoors, and even a retractable roof. Roman cities had baths, temples, markets, and forums, making them centers of culture and trade. The Age of Emperors. The Republic eventually grew too large to govern. Political conflict, debates and power struggles tore Rome apart. In 49 BCE, a general named Julius Caesar crossed the Rubicon River with his army and took control of Rome, declaring himself dictator for life. Many senators feared he wanted to be a king, so in 44 BCE, Caesar was assassinated in the Senate, stabbed 23 times by his own friends, including Brutus. But instead of restoring the Republic, his death led to civil war. Finally, Caesar's adopted son, Octavian, later known as Augustus, emerged victorious. In 27 BCE, he became Rome's first emperor, marking the birth of the Roman Empire. Under Augustus, Rome entered a golden age known as the Pax Romana, or Roman peace, which lasted for over 200 years. Trade flourished, cities prospered, and Roman culture spread from Britain to Egypt. Life in the Roman Empire. Roman society was complex and diverse. At the top were the patricians, or noble families. Below them were plebeians, ordinary citizens, and slaves, who made up nearly 1/3 of the population. Slavery was common. Conquered people were often sold as slaves to work in households, farms, or mines. Despite this inequality, the Romans created systems that kept society functioning. They had laws, schools, and public entertainment. The Roman Forum was the heart of public life, a place for debates, speeches, and markets. Roman religion honored many gods and goddesses like Jupiter, Venus, and Mars. Temples stood in every city, and festivals filled the calendar. The power of law and language. One of Rome's greatest achievements was its legal system. The 12 Tables, created in 450 BCE, were the foundation of Roman law, setting down the rights and duties of citizens. Even today, many modern legal systems are based on Roman law principles, such as innocent until proven guilty. Rome also gave the world Latin, its language. Although it's no longer spoken, Latin became the root of many modern languages, including Italian, French, Spanish, and Portuguese, and influenced English as well. The fall of Rome. But no empire lasts forever. By the 3rd century CE, Rome faced serious problems: corruption, invasions, and economic decline. The empire became too vast to manage. In 285 CE, Emperor Diocletian divided it into 2 parts: the Western Roman Empire, ruled from Rome, and the Eastern Roman Empire, ruled from Constantinople, modern-day Istanbul. While the East survived for many centuries, the West grew weaker. Barbarian tribes like the Visigoths and Vandals attacked repeatedly. In 410 CE, Rome was sacked for the first time in 800 years. Finally, in 476 CE, the last Roman emperor, Romulus and Augustus, was overthrown, marking the fall of the Western Roman Empire. It was the end of an era. But Rome's influence never truly disappeared. The legacy of Rome. Even after its fall, the spirit of Rome lived on. Its laws, architecture, and culture shaped the foundations of Europe. The Roman Catholic Church, which grew out of Rome, preserved much of its knowledge and traditions. From government buildings to stadiums, from Latin words to legal systems, echoes of Rome still exist in our modern world. Rome taught the world the power of organization, innovation, and ambition. It showed that even a small city can build an empire that lasts for centuries. Finally, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share this World History Facts Hub.